We'll continue our look at text boxes. We're going to add in the third variable, the movie that you're going to put in. So we'll declare a variable called strMovie as string. We will assign a value to that, getting the value out of the text box, txtmovie.text, and we will assign that to strMovie. And then we will add this into our information label. Inside quotation marks, I'm going to put the word likes, and that word will directly display. And then we'll put the movie. strMovie has got the string holding the name of the movie that was entered in. Here we go. We'll type in How the Grinch Stole Christmas. First name Santa, last name Claus, and display, and there it is. But the word likes is smashed right up against Claus and right up against How. We'll have to put a space inside, similar to the strategy we used earlier to separate the first name and the last name. And that's going to give us what we want. There. Space before and after the word likes. In class, we actually had students design that, and then I showed it to them later. We used ampersands here in Visual Basic. You can also use plus signs. That's commonly used in a lot of other languages. You may want to use plus signs instead of the ampersands. I prepare you more for the future and more languages. Either one's fine. It doesn't matter which one you use. But you're going to see that the same result is going to come whether we use plus signs or ampersands to concatenate or smash our strings together. If you would like to get a new line, you can type this, VBCRLF. Put it in between plus signs because it's, again, part of smashing the strings together. You'll see in a little while, I forgot to run it at this time, but you'll see in a while how that makes the next line come up, strMovie. We'll now take a look at how to code the clear button when we want to clear data from both the text boxes where users entered in information and then the display label that we had at the end where we put it all together. We're going to make all of that disappear, or at least to the user it appears to disappear. Text boxes have a method called .clear. So I can put txtmovie.clear, and that will clear the data out of that text box. We'll do that for all three of our text boxes. It's not the only way this can be accomplished, but it's probably the quickest way, the least amount of typing. Let's take a look at what happens. We'll press clear, and all the text boxes are cleared out. You'll notice the clear button is still lit up. We say it still has the focus. Actually, it's the blue that you see around it, not so much the blue on the inside, but the blue around it. Our label has not been cleared out yet. So we're going to need some kind of strategy to clear the text out of that label at the bottom. You'll notice if I try to do LBL information.clear, there is no .clear. You'll see when I try to type CL, there's no clear in there. So we'll do LBL information.text equals, well, blankness. It's an empty string. I'm going to type quotation marks and put absolutely nothing inside of them, not even a space, because remember, space is a character. That will clear out LBL information. The text property will become nothing. Let's see how this works. There, everything disappeared. But you see the blue is still around the clear button. It still has what we call the focus. And that's how we can clear data out of labels. Another way we could type instead of the blank quotation marks is to say string.empty. It's the exact same thing. Both are fine. It does not matter which one you do. It's quicker to type the blank quotation marks. Maybe it's easier to read with the string.empty. We can actually use this same strategy with text boxes. We could say txt last name dot text equals empty string. That has the same effect. But it's also more typing than just saying txt last name dot clear. Any method like that is fine. So we've got our program set up. We type in our data. We start with the movie. We put in a first name and a last name and display information. And then if we clear it out and get ready to type in more data, you notice we're going to have to take the mouse and click into that top text box. That can be very irritating if we were typing in a lot of movies and names. Maybe we were typing in a lot of movies and names and saving them into a file. The next logical thing to happen when we clear the data is to have the cursor go to that top text box so it's ready for another movie. So we're going to actually assign the focus to that text box. Text boxes have a method called .focus, and that allows us to assign the cursor to go into that top text box. And then we're going to put it in the top text box. That's txt movie .focus. Some parentheses will show up just as they did in the clear method. Don't worry about why there are parentheses at this time. It's okay. And just that right there will put the focus in the top text box, and we'll be ready to put in the next data involving movies and names. We'll display it, clear it, and look, all ready to start typing again. It may seem like a minor thing, but again, if you have to type a lot of data in, it really saves time and irritation of having to constantly click into that top box when we know that's the next logical place for everything to go. Our clear button's in pretty good shape. Along the way, you've hopefully noticed as well that the movie is showing up on the bottom line because of the VBCRLF that we put in earlier. I'm going to press the Tab button here, and notice how we go from the text boxes down through the three buttons back up to the top text box as the focus shifts. And this is done again using just the Tab button. I was not using the mouse at all. That's called tab order. If we go to view, you have to be in design mode to see this, not in the code. Here are a lot of numbers coming up for tab order. Notice the lowest one is 0. We very often start in programming with the number 0. But labels don't have a focus. Really, the only things that can get focus are things that can deal with input. A text box can get input. A button can have an action done on it. So those things really are important as far as getting focus. The lowest number right now that you see that gets a focus is 3, and that's where it starts right now. We can change these numbers by clicking. That's how I'm going to adjust right here. If I click on this number that was a 4, now it says 0. I'll change the clear and make it a 1. Well, this will make the focus go all over the place. When the program starts, the focus will be at the lowest tab order, the lowest tab index number. And there it is in first name where I put the 0. When I press tab, it goes to clear, then the movie you like, then the last name, then the display info, then exit. We are hopping all over the place just by pressing the tab button, and that's going to be very frustrating for users. So you want to have your tab order something that will be logical and comfortable and expected by users. And you probably want to make the first one 0. So I'm going to go up to the movie text box, TXT movie, keep clicking until it turns into a 0. I'll click first name until it's a 1. Last name's already got the 2. BTN display is a 3, clears 4, and now the exit button's a 5. I'll go mess with the label ones just for fun, make them 6, 7, 8, and 9, although the focus will never go there. And that should get us back where we like it. The tab index, as we press tab, it will start in the lowest tab index, which is on TXT movie right there, and then proceed through everything else when we press tab in order. From 0 to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 every time we press tab. We can make the tab order go away by going up to view and pressing tab order, and it's gone. Notice that the tab index of the exit button was right there, it's 5. So you can also see it in the properties window. There we are at the top, and I just keep pressing the tab button and it follows a logical tab order. Next, we're going to deal with accept buttons and cancel buttons. I'm clicked right now on the form. I'm not on a button or a text box. I made sure I'm clicked on the form, and here is accept button. This is going to be when we press enter. If we're somewhere off and we want to press enter and make something happen, BTN display is what's going to happen. If the focus is not on another button, when we press enter anywhere on this form, maybe in the middle of a text box, I'm going to show it when I'm in the last text box. If we press enter, then BTN display's code will run. The BTN display click event will run. Let's check it out. We'll type in a movie, a first name, last name, and press enter. And there is the code we expect from the BTN display click event. I actually didn't press display info. I just pressed enter. But it is the accept button for this form. A form can also have a cancel button. This will be when users press escape. So when we have users press escape, we'd like BTN exits click event to run to end the program. We'll watch this one in action. I type in a movie and decide to just press escape. Program ends. The next thing we want to check out are access keys. We're going to go into the text property of the BTN display, and we're going to put an ampersand. That's the symbol above the 7, the and symbol. I'm going to put it right in front of the letter D. When we click off of this, you're going to notice a very small line underneath the letter D. If you look on display info, there it is, a very small underline on the letter D. Next, we'll go to the clear button and put an ampersand in front of the letter C. Again, you'll see a very small line appear under the letter C. For exit, let's put it between the E and the X so that the line actually goes under the letter X. What that means is when this program runs, if users press Alt-D, then the display info click event will run. If users press Alt-C, the clear click event will run. And if users press Alt-X, then the BTN exit BTN exit click event will run and end the program. That's what I'm going to press here after I type in a movie, first and last name. As soon as I press Alt, you'll see the underlines show up. There they are. I press Alt-D. That's the display. Alt-C clears everything out. And Alt-X will exit the program.